So this is what it looks like to work with better.
What's an apology you never got to give? I ended up getting really physical. Do you regret that decision? No. So if your daughter and she came home with bruises, do you feel like that would be ethically okay? If I knew my daughter, I'd know why she got into an incident. Do you want kids? Do you want kids? And I know if I'm a good father, then my child wouldn't choose a man that do such a thing realistically. But you're the man that would do such a thing. And that was me of domestic violence. You said you slapped your significant other. Yeah. Is that not domestic violence? That is domestic violence. I still don't think it's wrong. But you just got defensive. That doesn't change my point. If you had a daughter and she came back with bruises, how would that make you feel? Unfazed. Was there a point in your life that changed your perspective on thinking? Yes. You think you're better than me because your ethical values are different? I think I'm better than you. I came from somewhere else whose ethical values are different because of how they are in their culture.
Right. This is what people mean when they say that abusers rarely change, and if they do ever change, it's because that abuser realizes on their own that they want to stop being an abuser, which means they acknowledge their behaviors, acknowledge that they're an abuser, and then they go seek out the support that they need to stop being an abuser. Throughout that entire video, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance, and I want to point out a few very important ones, in my opinion. Firstly, the question asked was, what is an apology you never got to give, right? And he responds with, being physical with my ex-girlfriend, not naming what the physical behavior was, which is a huge red flag when it comes to working with abusers. They have to be able to name what they've done, right? And he also later on acknowledges that it wasn't a bad thing, but he's saying that he never got to give that apology, which means for him, the apology is not because he thought he did something wrong. The apology was to just get this over with so that you can just move on from whatever I did to you. Second, I'm not a big fan of the what if it was your daughter or your sister or your mom kind of questioning. But his response to that question is very interesting because he starts first by saying, if I know my daughter, I know exactly why she would be in that situation, which is implying that women do things to cause men to harm them. And his ex-girlfriend did something to him that caused him to hurt her, which is deflecting, which is a tactic known as Darvo, right? Secondly, he goes on to say that if he was a good father, his daughter would know not to pick to be with a man like that, even though he is a man like that. Now, realizing that the daughter is probably going to think his behaviors that he does to his wife or his, girlfriend or his partner are choices she's going to recognize and see as normal behavior to be with when it comes to finding a partner. Third, while gotcha moments can be effective with some people, they oftentimes come off as like you trying to have banter with some people, right? So even though he did catch him and slipping and saying that, yeah, this is domestic violence, what I did, for him, it's, okay, you got me there, but still, let me give you another rebuttal, right? Because later on, he just goes on to say that, yeah, if my daughter came home with bruises, I wouldn't be fazed by it because now I can't admit that whatever I did was harmful. And lastly, this is a very common tactic when it comes to deflection, and it's the, oh, you think you're better than me, or nobody's perfect, or you're being disrespectful because other cultures do this, and now you're disrespecting other cultures. Why are you talking to me about this like I'm a bad person, right? And that's what happens at the end of that video.
And I'm going to make this video with no goddamn edits. If you are a black man, do not get online. Do not go out in public and ask us as black women why we will not speak to y'all. I'm not going to even cut this video. Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all are a mutation gene of us, and you have forgotten your fucking position. And then you're looking for your way back to your mama, right? And you riding through the matrix, the my tricks and mine her tricks, and you getting caught up in her web. You're in this system of patriarchy where you think that you running shit, and y'all are very dangerous. Y'all have become very dangerous through this false sense of superiority and power that you think you have over the black woman. That's why we're not speaking. Y'all are weird. And when I say weird, I mean y'all are wired different. Y'all are wired to a degree of entitlement, right? Y'all are very entitled. So once you go, hey, how you doing? And we say, hey, good, how you doing? We are expecting that it's just a hey, how you doing, period, point blank. After that, y'all follow up with trying to holler. It's not that the hollering is a problem, because some women may want that. I don't even like men enough for that. The issue is that you don't know how to take no for an answer. Y'all become violent. So now we feel like we're in danger. So instantly, if I'm saying no, I'm not interested, because that's usually what comes about. And you can even tell by the passion and a little bit of the anger that's within that, how I'm speaking, where it's at. Go look at the statistics and see why we don't speak nowadays. Because I'm the type of person, I like to speak. I like the randomness when people just speak and we don't know each other. We're supposed to be able to lift our heads up and down at each other and say, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? You see another brother, a kindred, kinfolk, you're supposed to be able to speak. Whether man or woman, it doesn't matter. We should be able to speak to each other. But the pattern I notice with black men is that they say hey, you say hey back as a black woman, and then they try to holler at you. And when you say no, I'm not interested, or I do not like men, they get mad at you all type of names in a book that don't even exist in the dictionary. They calling you everything else but the queen and the primador and the goddess of the earth. They call you everything else but that all of a sudden because you got no. Y'all are too fucking entitled. Y'all are nasty. Y'all are dirty. Look at that. I was about to say dingy and dirty at the same. Y'all are nasty, dingy, and dirty. Y'all are violent when you don't get what you want. And the whole time you're throwing a fit because you don't know where your mama at no more. May you return to the waters from whence you came and learn your fucking position. That's what you need to focus on. Figuring out when the fuck did you come about? Why are you and your brothers so disrespectful to the mama nowadays? Why are we where we are? Ask the right shit if you're gonna ask me something. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Ask me how I'm feeling. So I can tell you I feel like you need to get the fuck out my face. Do you see where we at now with y'all? That's why we don't say hey back. Because it's always something to follow up. Then y'all want to get weird and follow people around the corner and shit. Like, women walking around with Glocks and shit now. Like, we gangsters. Like, do you understand the position? Go look at the statistics. Don't talk to us about it. Go talk to your brothers. You coming out of isolation or you got from being locked up? You were just being locked. Which one? Because that's what it's. I'm just trying to understand. You got charges or something? Because you weird coming up on this app asking this shit. I'm done with this video.
The entitlement men have over women's bodies is something that needs to be studied. And even when I have conversation with people who are somewhat okay, men with a little bit of respect, there's something that always circulates back to me. Remembering that men, if they all have their egotistic levels, and it all, even when we try to address that egotistic level that they may have, they all differ at whatever level that they may be at. And even if this man has done some kind of work to do whatever privilege of our, or undo whatever privileges, or try to reshape their privileges, it always gets to that point of this. And sometimes, besides these two videos that we just watched, these men, often than not, some of them, the other half of it, they get to that point of, well, let me keep to myself and do the work. And other times they might do the work and still be shallow-minded about it, like it becomes like an layer. All right. That is why sometimes I don't get involved in male issues. I don't care about male issues. I don't want to get involved with male issues. I feel like men are grown up. The only thing that I can care about are children, male boys. I can give some hope to them. But grown-ass man with a beard, with kids, no. Because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with this.